I mean, I just wanted, from the second I went in there, I just wanted to get out as fast as I could and get home. I'm still not ready. I'm still really uncomfortable. My left leg and my left foot. Um, been in a lot of pain. My voice doesn't feel good. Talking is tough. The idea of inpatient rehab, this is neuro inpatient rehab. So it's a full hospital. It has a pharmacy. There's people there the whole time. But you do Monday through Friday, you have 3 hours of therapy, which is more than you'd ever get in the real world. 90 minutes of physical, 90 minutes of occupational, and um, the other 21 hours were hard. My PT and OT there were very, very good. They knew what they were doing as therapists, but they were healers. They had the intangibles that you dream of for somebody who is taking care of you when you're in a vulnerable situation. They were great. They were only with me 3 hours, Monday through Friday, and the other time was not super pleasant. It was a holiday week, so the staff was very irregular. As in the hospital, I'm still a fall risk. I'm using a walker. I have to push the button and wait for somebody to come and walk with me the 7 feet to the bathroom. It's great. I don't like being there. The time has really set in, just before I left the hospital, it really set in how long I'd been gone. And I went into rehab with the dream that I would be out in a few days. It's just slow. Everything moves slowly, and I'm a mess. And they just got my pain under control. I'm on so many meds. They add a med called Mementine, which I didn't find out until I was discharging, is fucking ketamine. And the guy's like, this works really well with nerve pain. It's just part of their protocol that they add that. And had that been explained to me what it was, I could have said, oh, dear God, no. No, thank you. But I was fucking on that the whole time, too. There were some great moments that this was with me. It was with me every time I worked with the therapist. They were both so good and so helpful. It's one-on-one, and it's encouraging. The effect of having someone work that closely with you is teaching you how to work in this way on your own once you leave, how to stay in touch with your body and notice what's happening in various muscles as you're moving and trying different activities. They were great, and that was very helpful. There was also a nightmare that turned out to be a very good catalyst. The nightmare was the turkey trot. A turkey trot in a rehab hospital. So the intake was very holiday, and it was not very thoughtful, and some people miss some things like, what do you have again? Now, what is that? And asking themselves a question like, how would this guy do in a group setting? Would there be any issues? Nobody knew. They'd never had somebody with PLS there. And somebody had the bright idea to put this guy suddenly in a group activity. I just asked one of my therapists, like, hey, who's this on the schedule for the next one? And they said, oh, I think you're doing a group thing. Well, here was the group thing: 8 patients who have either traumatic brain injury, spinal cord injury, or stroke, or my outlier case. I think it's about 8 of us, and they're going to create a turkey trot event for us. So in my former life, I did 10 or 15 of these. You go out the morning of Thanksgiving, you run a 5K or a 10K. It's a fun thing. You get a fun little hoodie or a hat or pajama pants. You get some swag, and it's a healthy thing to do before you go and eat a lot at some big gathering. So this is the day before Thanksgiving in the hospital, and somebody's bright idea is to, I saw the sign, it was the first annual turkey trot. I wonder if there'll be a second. I certainly won't be a part of it. So nobody asked me, nobody considered, is it a good idea? And I've been in a walker, and they say, so you're going to be in a wheelchair for this. Of course, I won't have any problem with that. I won't mind that. Just move me over there, put me in a wheelchair. The first part of it is this fucked up parade where I'm just remembering this. They took us the other way down the hall, and we all sort of paraded around a nurse's station, and they clapped for us. What was happening? Why did we do that? I was pushing myself during that. I really can't think of what the point was. Maybe it was a warm-up. So we go back to the original meeting place in this hallway, and now here's the event. So they put t-shirts on all of us. Oh, here's my swag. Oh, great. What a weird, but maybe one day meaningful memory. It's like the name of the rehab hospital in some slogan, some image. Oh, cool. That's nice. Well, what we're actually doing here is 2 people at a time will race down the hallway, go around a cone, and come back. And I feel terrible. I don't like being in a group setting. I feel unsafe, even though I'm sitting down there. So much noise and sensory stuff happening right around me. I'm in a chair and I'm worried I'm gonna fall out of the chair. I'm so uncomfortable. One of my arms barely works. I can't really operate the chair correctly. So the left arm doesn't work well, so the chair keeps turning to the left. So I have to figure out, like, okay, stop pushing with the right and try to only push with the left. I'm a mess in this fucking thing. It's my first time in a wheelchair. I'm so unhappy. All the employees are like trying to make it an event, and they're being really loud. And the guy I'm going next to is like trying to kick my ass in this thing, and he's a whiz in his wheelchair. So I have somebody behind me pushing me, running, trying to keep up with this guy. I'm terrified. My left foot, which is not super controlled by me, is going to fall out of the stirrup and just go under my chair. I'm picturing myself like being ejected from the wheelchair because she's pushing me so fast. I mean, health and safety, OSHA. This is not clearing any of those standards, but it's a great idea somebody has. So somebody's pushing me to force a tie, which it turns out almost all of them end up in a tie because somebody's helping the slower person catch up. I'm so miserable. I just want to go back to my room and be done. They make us take the shirts off. There is no fun free swag. We take the shirts off. I guess they're fucking saving them for next year. Crazy. So, all this time, several days before I go to the ER, the whole time I'm in the hospital, the first 4 or 5 days being in rehab, the back of my leg, picture the muscles, the striations going down in the top of the leg and in the calf. It's like a bolt has been put in and it was twisted. And now picture those striations turning around the bolt. That's the feeling that never left my leg for so long. And the next day, Thanksgiving Day, I woke up. I had slept very well, and I woke up and it was gone. The feeling was gone. It was like the bolt had been taken out. All the muscles were finally straight, and I felt free. And I was standing and moving around the room on my own with my walker. I was standing up, looking out the window, talking to friends and family, feeling like a person, and also feeling very clearly, okay, it's time to go. I need to go. And that began kind of a day and a half of a difficult exit. The hospital was on skeleton crew in terms of who was there, the head doctor, the normal people. None of the people were there. It was all subs for the people and people who didn't really know me. It took a while. It took a fight. It took a monologue. It was an unplanned monologue. These people were a doctor, a caseworker, and a head of PT who were pretty unfamiliar with me were explaining why I needed to be there another 5 days. And this monologue sort of erupted forth from me, explaining what my life was like. And friends, you're not going to discharge me from here any less likely to fall than I was before I came in here. There's no getting me better in the next 5 days. I'm going to fall. That's just part of my life. And what I feel so much better. I'm much more functional. I just demonstrated all this stuff. I need to be home, like being away from my family and being in this hospital setting has really messed up my head. I just have to go. And there were some tears and okay, we're going to meet again. And they came back and said, all right, we're going to discharge you in the morning. And I'm grateful for all of those people did to try to take care of me. They were all trying to make the best decisions for me, and their jobs are not sexy at all. I'm so grateful that they choose to work in a place like this. I'm sure some of the other patients were looking at me like, what the fuck do you have to complain about? There were some folks in there who are going to be there for a long time. and the work is slow to help them improve. And I remain in awe of the people who have become skilled and have the knowledge and the patience to shepherd people in a condition like that through their recovery. So glad those people are around, and it was very inspiring to be in their midst and to get to work with them. And it was also really great to leave and come home.